Talking about the new comics I picked up on August 21st, 2019, coming up next. What's up, comic book fans? My name is Bruce, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Reviews, a weekly series where I come to you and review the books that I picked up at my local comic book shop, and this week was August 21st, 2019. I have 9 books to review. I got 3 indie, 4 Marvel, and 3 DC. A good variety of books there. But before I jump into those books, I do want to talk about one book that came out 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm not exactly sure. I'll put that information up on the screen. But it is Captain America number 12. This is written by Ta-Nehisi Coates and art by Adam Kubert. And Ta-Nehisi Coates is absolutely writing an amazing story in Captain America. It is hands down I was going to say hands down one of the best books, but that's not true. But it is hands down an amazing book. What makes it so good is that it's 12 issues so far, and it's all one story arc. It's all talking about Captain America's fall from grace and him going to jail and beyond. But it's not just focusing solely on Captain America. Ta-Nehisi Coates is building this whole story around a lot of characters. So some of the issues we see Cap only a very little bit, and the rest of the story is about all their the other cast of characters, which is building this really deep, really rich story that is keeping me so engaged and so wondering where it's going to go. And the team that he's built on Cap's side is so effing awesome. It is really good, and I'm excited for a multitude of reasons. I love that Sharon, his girlfriend in this, is playing such a huge role. I like the villains in this. This is just an excellent, excellent book. If you're looking for a book that's more than just big fight scenes and only focusing on the main character, not really giving you a lot of other story about the world around it and everything else, this is a book to pick up, because this is not just big fight scenes and everything. It's a huge, big, epic story that is really engaging. It's really fun, and I highly suggest you guys pick up Captain America. The next issue comes out next week, Captain America 13. I'm not sure when this run's going to end. I'll try to find that and put that up on screen as well, but highly suggest you guys pick up Captain America. It is such a good book. All right, now that's out of the way. I just want to talk to you guys about that real quick. Let's jump in to the books that I picked up this week, and those books are Strayed, number 1. Powers of X, number 3. Guardians of the Galaxy, number 8. Valkyrie, number 2. Daredevil, number 10. The Weatherman, number 3. Batman, number 77. Teen Titans, number 33. And Hellboy in the BPRD Saturn Returns, number 1. Alright, first up we have Strayed, number 1. This is written by Carlos Giffoni and art by Juan Doe. Kind of sounds like Jane Doe. Or John Doe. But I literally just picked this book up because I thought the cover was good and I need to start reading more indie books, so I gave this book a shot. It's decent. The book wasn't super engaging. The art was okay. Wasn't amazing. It's a story about a cat that, it's set way in the future. Humans are trying to colonize the universe, and this cat has powers, and the humans are trying to use this power, and its handler, I guess, is kind of against what's happening, and it's kind of like a struggle between the handler and the human race, which is trying to use it to do bad things. So overall, kind of an interesting story. Seems like I've kind of read it before or seen it on TV before, so it's not the best. Would I suggest you guys pick this up? I didn't love it, so I wouldn't suggest. I can't suggest it to you guys, but check out some other channels. Maybe someone else can talk more about it and has a better perspective of it, or more positive. But it was a decent book. It's a number 1. It is a good jumping point if you're into cats. Maybe it's a good read for you guys. But this next book is dope. All right. This is Powers of X, number 3. This is written by Jonathan Hickman and art by R.B. Silva. And this book is hands down one of the best books out there at the moment. It's House of X and Power X, both written by Jonathan Hickman. And this Powers of X number 3 is incredible. And so they've been coming out week after week. It's usually been going House of X, Power of X, House of X, Power of X. But this is the second week in a row that Power of X has come out. And this is continuing the story from last week. And last week was a ton of information. It was kind of like, those TV shows where like one episode is just all information, setting up what is going to be this big, awesome episode the following week with lots of action, or at least lots of story moving forward and developments. And that's pretty much what this was. This was just, I don't want to say crash and bang, but man, it was just right into it, right into the stuff that was going to happen. And it's just, I love what Jonathan Hickman is doing. He's telling this new story of the X-Men that is making them engaging and wanting you to know all about them and love them all over again. And since I've been reading X-Men, there hasn't been a single book that I've been, oh my god, this book is amazing. There's some books that have been fun and I've enjoyed the characters and enjoyed kind of like what's happening to them. But this book has me, I'm in it for the next few years, hopefully, as long as Jonathan Hickman is in the driver's seat, because I'm telling you guys, this book is absolutely incredible. There'll be other people. Check out Joe Ryan Comics. I'm sure he's going to have an amazing review on this. Pop Culture Philosophers, I'm sure, has an amazing review on this. They'll go into much more detail, much more eloquent than I am. But as a normal Joe who loves comics but doesn't have the most eloquent way to talk about them, this book is effing bleep awesome. Highly suggest you guys pick this book up. Is it a good jumping in point? Number 3, not the best, but oh my god, so good. All right. Up next, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, number 8. This is written by Donny Cates and art by Corey Smith. This is another great book of the week. I love Donny Cates. I actually have 2 books at the end of the book of the episode that I'll show you guys that I did not read. They are books that are months old, weeks old at this point, but they are signed by Donny Cates. I literally just picked up because they were signed and they were on sale for cover price. I just think Donny Cates is one of the most exciting writers outside of like Jonathan Hickman and Scott Snyder and Brian Michael Bendis. He is a new, well, I don't know how new he is, but to me, he's new to me, and he is one of my favorite writers right now. He is just blowing everyone, I shouldn't say blowing everyone out of the water, but he's blowing my expectations of books out of the water. They're all the stories are super fun, super engaging. His character development's awesome. The situations he's putting all these characters in is just great. And this is another book. Guardians of the Galaxy, number 8, is just awesome. So they've been kind of hinting at something going on with Rocket since the beginning of his run. The team was kind of disassembled at the very beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, and Rocket hasn't been on the team. We haven't seen him. We saw glimpses of him and things hinted of him that he might be dead or hiding, and in this book we actually find out what's been going on with him, and we gotta get some history of his whole story, and it's crazy. And the art is, I don't want to say awesome, but it's good. It definitely helps highlight some of the moments of the book, and there's some good stuff at the very end of the book. I love the character dialogue between Groot and Rocket. Rocket is very down on himself, and Groot just says like, "Stop it! We're a family. We're here. We're gonna help you through this." And it's just, there are some good emotional moments in this book, and that's what makes comic books great. Is when you feel that emotion through the characters. It's not just smashing and blowing up things. There's got to be those character moments that you care for and love for, and you feel that emotion between the characters, and you want it, and when you get it, oh, it's so satisfying. And that's what happened in this book. It was so good. And I love the makeup of this team. It's just a really fun team. And what's going on with Peter Quill's dad is crazy. I don't want to ruin anything, but the Church of something, I'll put it up, but whatever that church is doing is absolutely insane. I guess it's a church that's always been trying to revive Adam Warlock, but this time they're going way beyond that, and it's pretty crazy. But this is a really fun book. I highly suggest you guys pick this up. Is this a good jumping in point? Not really, but if you go back 1 or 2 issues, you can get it on, at least on the current arc. But it's only 8 issues in. They'll probably collect the trade of the previous run pretty soon. But Guardians of the Galaxy is really fun. All right, up next we have Valkyrie, or Jane Forrester Valkyrie, number 2. This is written by Jason Aaron and Al Ewing, and art by Cafu. Okay. Again, try not to be too negative about the book, but I was really hoping to love this book because I love Jane Forrester Thor so much. And with Al Ewing, who's doing an amazing job on the Hulk, and with Jason Aaron, another one of my favorite writers, I was hoping this book was just going to be amazing. And it's okay. It's pretty cool that she's learning to, as her powers as the Valkyrie, and I kind of like her, I guess you could call her weapon, because it basically forms into whatever she needs. But I don't know, the story where it's going, I'm not really sure. I'm really not that into it. And the artist is decent, and there's some really cool pages in here, but overall I'm not totally loving the artwork. I'm not hating it by any chance, but, or I don't know. I wish I could talk better about this book and give a better description of why I'm not loving it. It just seems kind of fast. It's not really, or we're getting to things really fast without a lot of character development. All of a sudden she is the Valkyrie, and there was no kind of, I know it just happened to her, but I was hoping there'd be more of a learning of her powers without just being a first battle with Bullseye, who has this magic crazy sword, and it's just happening. But maybe it's coming in the next couple issues, because at the very end of this book, a god dies, and they're going to go on a journey together. So maybe that's where it's going to be. But I'm not loving this book, I gotta say that. There were some really cool moments in it, but I can't recommend it. That's what I'm going to say. That was a long-winded way to say I can't recommend Valkyrie number 2. I'm not really loving it. I'm going to give it a few more issues because I love Jason Aaron. And after that, and this might be a book that I drop. All right, up next we have Daredevil number 1. Daredevil number 10. This is written by Chip Zdarsky, and we have a new artist, Jorge Fornes, which I enjoy very much. And I got to tell you, moving from the previous artist, I'll have his name on screen, to Jorge Fornes, made the book so much better. And I absolutely love this cover artist. This cover artist is Julian Tortino Tedesco. I'm totally butchering that. It'll be up on screen. But look at this cover. This cover is so good. And I'm really enjoying, this issue was amazing. It dealt with Cole for a lot of it. He's that cop. In the last couple issues, he was fighting some dirty cops. Dirty cops are in with Fisk or the Owl. I can't remember who they're in with, but basically they all hate him now because Cole almost got them all in trouble. So they're trying to take him down. And that was a big part of this issue. It was really good, and it put Matt Murdock in a situation where he had to act. And yeah, this issue was awesome. And again, the art is back to, it's not the most amazing art, but let me find a good page. But it's so much better than the other one. The characters are at least drawn proportionally, and they look normal. And the last artist just, I don't know. Again, try not to talk too negatively about anyone, but this book was, the story is so good. Chip is writing an amazing story. The dialogue, the pacing in this book is just great. Highly suggest you guys read Daredevil. I haven't been loving it the last few issues. I really think that comes down to the artist. It just was not helping sell the story, but the story by Chip is it's an excellent story. All right, next up, we have The Weatherman, Volume 2, Number 3. This is written by Jody LaHoop and art by Nathan Fox. Effing awesome book. This is getting better and better with each issue. I still haven't read Volume 1, even though my buddy Frank says I should not be reading Volume 2 without reading Volume 1. But this book is a super fun sci-fi story. It's with this crazy bio zombie stuff and characters that are just trying to save the world, the Earth, and the remaining humans, and they're flawed, and there's so much character development and story development and everything happening in each issue. You're getting tons of information, but you're not overwhelmed, and it's just helping building this huge, rich world and rich story, and I cannot wait to see where this goes. And each issue drops in new characters and new elements, and it just makes it so exciting. This is a great freaking book. I love this book. Joy Little Hup. Love this book. I'm so glad I picked this up. Well, I would suggest you guys go read Volume 1. You probably have. It will probably be even better if you have. But this is a super fun book. The art by Nathan Fox, again, it's a really awesome, stylized, sketchy style, and it's perfect for this book. Highly suggest you guys pick up The Weatherman. It's just awesome. All right, first DC book. It's the best DC book. Batman number 77, written by Tom King and art by Mikel Janin and Tony S. Daniel. I love how they're splitting up the artists in this book. It's not, and some books when they're coming up to a deadline, they're trying to hit that deadline, they'll have a second artist come in and just try to fill in panels or fill in pages where the other artist couldn't do. But this is specifically split up into story moments. So Mikel Janin is telling or drawing certain story moments that are happening in one space, and then Tony S. Daniel is drawing others, and they've done this with multiple artists throughout the whole entire, I shouldn't say the whole entire run, but a bunch of the run. And it's just it's a helpful story element, way to tell a story. But wow, this book is this City of Bane is going to be one hell of a story. Again, I don't want to go too far into it, but Bruce and Kat together, that's Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle. Bruce has been in a coma since Bane beat his butt, and now he's finally waking up, and the moments between them are so good. Damian Wayne, I'm a personal huge Damian Wayne fan. There's moments with Gotham Girl and Thomas Wayne, the evil Batman in this, and there's if you follow Tom King on Instagram, he's been dropping bombs all day, little panels, and my favorite was he had one post that was showing Damian Wayne and Thomas Wayne, and Thomas Wayne say, "I am Batman," and the next one was Robin, "You are not." It was just, I love how badass Damian is. It is just, and Mikel's art is so amazing. And the writing between our Bruce and Selena Kyle, the banter between each other, it's how a couple would talk to each other. And this is like, two superheroes, but it's just they're still human, and that's what's so great about them. That's what Tom does so well. He keeps the human element there. And with a lot of big superheroes, it's hard to keep that human element there because they are like Batman and Superman, and in the Marvel universe, Captain America and Iron Man and all these other people, but they're still human at the end of the day, and this book is just awesome. Gotta pick this book up, guys. Batman, Tom King, Mikel Janin, Tony S. Daniel, Batman 77. Awesome read. Not a great jumping in point, obviously, because it is number 77, but I can't say enough about it. The book blew my mind. So good. Up next, we have Teen Titans number 33. This is written by Adam Glass and art by Sean Chen. I don't know why I'm still picking this book up. It's not super great. I'm thinking, I've said this before, I like the characters. Crush right here, which is Lobo's daughter, Kid Flash, which is Wally West, and Damian Wayne, and I like that new character, what's his name? Roundhouse, he's super fun. Red Arrow is great, but overall the story is just, it's not really going anywhere. They're still struggling as a team. They're still not coming, they're still being separated. There's no good moments where they're overcoming something and growing as a team. It's just they keep on falling back, and I don't know. The story just really isn't progressing far enough for me to actually love it and enjoy it. And to find out what happened at the end of this book, kind of, to me, there was a event in the Marvel Universe with a cosmic cube where they rewrote a bunch of things that happened to some people, and that seems like what they're doing in this. And it's just kind of since I've read that very recently, that came out like last year or the year before, it just kind of seems like a redo, and to see it in the DC Universe so quickly, not really enjoying it. But that cover is awesome though. So I can't suggest Teen Titans 33. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be sticking around with this book, especially with so many books coming out that are just going to be awesome. I mean, the amount of X-Men books that are coming up soon. All right, last up for review, we have Hellboy in the BPRD Saturn Returns #1, written by Mike Mignola and Scott Ali, and art by Christopher Mitten. This was the last book I read of the week, and I was a little tired, but I think that still can't be a cause for me not enjoying this book, because this book was really not that great. I picked this book up mainly because I've never read a Hellboy book before, and I loved the first couple movies with Ron Perlman and directed by Guillermo del Toro. Didn't love the latest installment, but I've been wanting to pick one up, and this was #1, so I was like, you know what, I only have 8 books, let's grab another. And this book just, besides it being set in New Hampshire, that was the only thing that really engaged me into this book. It was slow moving and not a lot happened, and the story that was told wasn't very engaging. I can't suggest that you guys pick this book up. It wasn't super great. But if you guys do have a Hellboy story that I should read that is awesome and worth my while, please let me know, because I would love to read a great Hellboy story. But that is going to do it for the week. I do have 2 other books I quickly want to show you guys. I mentioned before on the channel that Midtown Comics is my comic book shop, which I am so lucky for that to be my comic book shop, because they have books like this. So this is a Web of Carnage Born #1, signed by Donny Cates. This is actually a cover for Midtown. It's a Midtown comic cover exclusive, which is super dope. And I also picked up Cosmic Ghost Rider #1, written by Donny Cates. And this cover is just so freaking awesome. I actually haven't read this. Cosmic Ghost Rider is actually Punisher. I believe he's from an alternate universe or something, but I'm gonna give this book a shot. I'm not sure if I'm gonna read this one. I should, because Absolute Carnage is going on, but definitely gonna give this a shot at some point. But that is it for the week, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys know what to do. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you get yourself subscribed. I really, really appreciate it. And please let me know down in the comments below. Am I doing a great job? If I'm not doing as good of a job as you'd like, let me know what I can improve on, because it would definitely be helpful to know how I can improve the channel. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.